In this world, there's real evil. It lies in the darkest shadows and in the most ordinary places. Today, I am visiting the site of the nation's most recent mass shooting, the Juneteenth Willowbrook, Illinois mass shooting, just southwest of Chicago. Now, this is of particular relevance to me because I work and live in the region, and unfortunately, these events have become such commonplace, I hadn't even known that it occurred until one of my coworkers mentioned that it had happened the night before, and I thought I would just drive by on my way home to see the site and to make a video for those who may be curious if they had heard what a active crime scene looks like, because the perpetrators have not been apprehended and no one has been brought to justice. So I looked for some more information, and as you see here, all of the various reporters and cameramen and women reporting live from these scenes. But I did find an article that is from the New York Times titled 23 Shot, 1 Fatally at Juneteenth Celebration in Illinois. Some pertinent parts of the article are as follows. At least one person was killed and 22 others wounded in a shooting just after midnight Sunday at a large Juneteenth celebration in a strip mall parking lot in Willowbrook, Illinois, southwest of Chicago. Deputies from the DuPage County Sheriff's Office heard gunfire around 12:30 a.m. and responded to an area where a large gathering of people was happening. Some victims took themselves to hospitals and others were transported by emergency medical workers. The motive behind the shooting was unclear. It was also not clear what type of firearms were used. No suspects were in custody. Juneteenth is an annual commemoration of the end of slavery in the United States. It's been celebrated by African Americans since the late 1800s and became a federal holiday in 2021. The celebration in Willowbrook began around 6 p.m. on Saturday near an apartment complex. It is unclear if the event was organized or sanctioned by nearby businesses. Some police officers were monitoring the event when they received a call about a fight nearby at about 12:25 a.m. The officers were heading to the fight when they heard gunshots and then returned to the celebration. An unknown number of suspects fired multiple rounds from multiple weapons into the crowd. The sheriff's office said 22 people were wounded and one person was killed by gunfire. Several other people were injured trying to flee. The shooting took place in a strip mall parking lot on Route 83 near Honeysuckle Rose Lane. Businesses in the area remain closed until further notice. So here I'm taking a shot across the street from the apartment complex, which has many, many buildings, but it appears that that parking lot is the one where the event was taking place and where the shooting occurred. Now, it's a really sad state of affairs that with that many people, no one has come forward or identified who the shooters were. But I have to say, it was of particular interest to me just because of my personal connection to the greater area. Now, I actually was not aware that this apartment complex even existed. It's not really an area that I would come to other than passing by on Route 83. Never ever traveling down into this side street, but it's sort of a reminder that it can happen anywhere at any time. And this particular apartment complex is sort of unusual for the area. It's kind of a humble complex in an otherwise very prominent area. Willowbrook, situated between Burr Ridge and Hinsdale, two very affluent communities with multi-million-dollar homes and very prominent families. The last place on earth you'd expect something like this to happen, but it has happened in many places throughout America and continues to. Now here's the parking lot where you see the crime tape that evidently the shooting took place, and there's a lot of debris that's just outside the camera's view that's still lying there, and it appears that the area is under 24-hour surveillance as the suspects are still at large. But I just wanted to come by, check out the scene, make a video for any of those who are interested in what the location may look like. It's clearly an active crime scene with lots of activity, and I'm sure it will remain so for some time to follow. I'll take you just to the end of the street here, and we will take one last look passing by to show you the scene of the nation's most recent mass shooting, Willowbrook, Illinois. Stay safe, everyone.